Equity, we talk about two things a lot, and that's helping have more happy, healthy people in the world and to be fit for life. And it's really good to have that positive thing to shoot for. But we also want to use the inverse principle. And what are we fighting against? And this is, um, that inverse principle is something we've talked about before. And what we're fighting against is drift, dysfunction, and chronic disease. Those are things that start getting us away from the person that we want to be. So, on one side, we have dysfunction and chronic disease. And then on the other side, we have living the life that we want to and being fit for life, being healthy and happy. And this is not these are things, dysfunction and chronic disease are things that happen over long periods of time. It doesn't just snap and it happens. It's not an acute thing. It's where we start drifting away from being healthy and happy. So, you're young, you're fit, you're playing sports, you're doing all these things, and then life starts coming up and getting in the way, and then we slowly start drifting into dysfunction. We start gaining a little bit of weight. We start eating poorly. We start drinking a little bit more. We start forgetting to work out or not prioritize working out or being active. And over time, that dysfunction, hey, we start being less capable. We start not being as functional as we were before. And then we start going and leaning into chronic disease. We're pre diabetic. We're having more issues with asthma or COPD. We might be obese. Our body fat percentage keeps going up, and all the issues that can come with that. Um, higher likelihood of heart disease, like chronic disease are issues from lifestyle. When our lifestyle is sedentary, it's overconsumption of calories. When we're not active, when we're overeating, that is when we start getting chronic disease. And when we start becoming more active and start um, reducing our caloric intake and eating better and doing all of those things that a fit or healthy person would do, the chronic disease, dysfunction starts going away, right? If we can't sit on the floor and get up, that is dysfunction. If we are pre diabetic, that is borderline, that is, we're on the path to chronic disease. And what we are trying to do is to prevent that. We want to be happy and healthy and kick ass in life as long as we can. We want to be fit for life, and whatever life throws at us, we want to be able to do that thing. So, how do we do that? We need to make sure that we're getting enough sleep, that we're recovering, that we're putting priority in sleeping. We want to make sure that we're eating. We're making sure that we're keeping our calories in check. We're not over consuming in our calories. We're getting, good quality food. We want to make sure that we're moving. We want to make sure that and we're getting out and using our body. We want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success in terms of mindset. We want to make sure that we're not always beating ourselves up. We want to make sure that we are seeking out challenge instead of always being negative and being a pessimist. We want to connect with other people. The more connections we have with people, the longer we live. If you're around healthy and active people, you're more likely to be healthy and active. So we want to build relationships as well. And when we do all of those things, we start pushing away dysfunction and chronic disease. and we can live our life the way that we want to live it. But what happens is, as life happens, we can start drifting away with that, and we need to be intentional on the things that are hard to do. You need to be intentional at getting good sleep and setting yourself up for getting that sleep. You need to be intentional on buying the right things in the grocery store. You need to be intentional in making sure you're getting out and moving your body and doing hard things and lifting heavy things. To be intentional about how you talk to yourself and how you let other people talk to and about you. You need to be intentional on maintaining and fostering really good relationships. If we are not intentional in our life, we are going to drift away from that life that we actually want. We're going to we need to be intentional and spending some time with yourself, understanding what you want and where you want to be will help you start finding a place or finding where you want to be. And then we need to start being intentional and taking action to get there. Awareness, intention, action. So, if you want to live your life to the fullest, to be able to do all the things that you want to do, be intentional in what you're doing in your day today. The small little things that you do today are going to take take you where you want to go or where you don't want to go. Those actions, those little steps, just over time are going to build on top of each other. If you're not changing, you're choosing. You're choosing to not move. You're choosing to eat ultra processed food, right? You have to set yourself up for success. And that doesn't mean it's easy, but it is worth it. Be intentional with how you set up your life so that it is what you want and not what somebody else is telling you that you should want. Hope this helps. If you think this might help somebody, please share it with them. Equity is a place where we are trying to fight dysfunction and chronic disease so we can have more happy, healthy people that are fit for life for decades to come. Cheers.